Guys, I gotta tell you, making these videos with my husband sometimes is just funny because he will say things that crack me up, or I'll say things that crack him up. And we just had a good little chuckle about me being the star and him being the videographer and the producer and the director and gaffer and key grip, and I don't even know what those things mean, but we just had a good laugh about that. So always remember though, I'm the star. So what we're going to do tonight, I am going to make an Oreo cake for you. And basically what the cake is it's a 2-layer chocolate cake. And then in the middle is a thick layer of crushed Oreos, cream cheese, some sugar, and Cool Whip. You mix all that together and you put a really thick layer in the middle. And then for the topping, I like to heat up some just regular chocolate cake icing and get it a little runny, a little soft, and then you just pour it over the top and let it run down the sides. And it's really a beautiful looking cake and it tastes incredible. Very impressive cake, very easy to make. So let's run through the ingredients that I have laid out here. Okay guys, so for the cake itself, I just bought a regular box cake mix. That's what's in this bag of chocolate cake mix. It called for 3 eggs, so I've got my 3 eggs here. It called for a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil here, and then I've got about 3/4 of a cup of cold water back here. So we are going to mix these together real quick. And what I like to do when I make a cake, or really anything that has eggs in it, is I like to get the eggs kind of blended just a little bit, so I make sure that they're going to be blended. I've always had this fear of making a cake and one of the eggs doesn't pop and then you don't get it mixed in and then you have this big glump of egg, but it's never happened, but I still have this irrational fear of it. So we're just going to mix everything here in the bowl. I don't drag a mixer out for this because I can mix it just fine with a whisk. So we'll just whisk this. Once everything gets mixed together and incorporated, then I'm just going to beat it with a whisk for about a minute, and that'll be just fine for it. So be sure when you do this that you scrape down the sides. That's something else, reason why I don't like to use a mixer for doing this, because you still have to scrape down the sides, and the mixer gets in the way, and it's just a pain. And for me, it's just a lot easier to mix it with a whisk, or you can mix it with a spoon. It doesn't matter. Okay, that's good. So it's all mixed up. Alrighty, so I've got 2 9-inch cake pans here, and I had some Baker's Joy spray that I sprayed them with. And for those who aren't familiar with Baker's Joy, anytime you make a cake, you're supposed to grease and flour the pans. And Baker's Joy is just a spray like Pam or whatever, and it already has the flour in it. So it's the oil and the flour together, and it sprays on like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide this batter in half into the 2 pans. As best we can. Good stuff. All right. So we'll just tap this down, make sure there aren't any air bubbles. We're going to pop it in a 350-degree oven for about a half hour. Then we'll do the toothpick test on it, make sure that it's done. We'll mix up the filling, we'll put the topping on it, and it is an incredible, incredible dessert. Alrighty guys, so welcome back. The cakes are out of the oven. And I want to talk a little bit about the cakes and what I do with them. I've baked cakes for many, many, many years, and I always get comments about how moist they are. Oh, the cake is so moist, it's so moist. And so I just wanted to share a little secret, my little secret actually. What I do with the cakes, a lot of people when they pull them out of the oven, they put them on wire racks to cool, and that's where the moisture goes out of the cakes. So what I do is I usually pull them out of the oven and then I immediately cover them with aluminum foil or something to hold that moisture in. It takes longer for the cakes to cool, but they are very moist when they're done. So what I did, I've got some bowls here that when I cook I use for stems and peels and stuff like that. And I just turned them up on my cakes. So my cakes are right here. They are ready to get the finishing touches. So with this cake, what you do is you bake your 2 layers, and then in between them you put the layer of cream cheese and Oreos and all that, and then you put icing on top. So for the filling, all I have is a 1/2 cup of sugar right here. I have 8 ounces of cream cheese right here. I have a 1/2 package of Oreos that I crushed up here. And then I've got an 8-ounce tub of whipped cream here. You mix those 4 things together, stick them in the middle of your 2 layers of cake, put the icing on it. You have a beautiful and unbelievably tasty cake. So, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna turn our cakes up. Now, you'll notice that my cake layers have a little crown on them. And a lot of bakers will slice that crown off so they have a nice even top or bottom to work with. I don't like doing that because it's a waste of cake. So what I'm going to do, because we have such a thick layer of filling in the middle, is I'm going to put this one top up, I'm going to put the filling on it, and then I'm going to put this one top down, and good stuff, that'll be distributed by the filling that I put in the middle. So let's get the filling going. What we have to do is we're going to cream together the cream cheese and the sugar. So let's get that going. This is a lot easier if your cream cheese is at room temperature. If you're ever going to do this, you don't want to take your cream cheese directly out of the refrigerator and try to cream it with sugar, because it just won't work that way. Alrighty, so we've creamed together that. We're going to put our Oreo. Okay, so we're just going to mix our crushed Oreos in with the cream cheese and sugar. And you want to do this mixing without the Cool Whip because you want to try to maintain the fluff in the Cool Whip. So now we're going to put this in. And you could make your own whipped cream if you want. I do sometimes. This time I didn't, because I just want to show you how easy making something like this is. This is really a good cake. Every time I've made it many times in the past, and people just fall in love with it because you've got the chocolate cake, and you've got the Oreos and cream cheese, and it's just a really, really good cake. Very impressive looking too when it's done. So we're just going to spoon this on the top. It is going to make a very thick layer of filling, which is what you want. we're gonna lay that down right on top. And then we're gonna kind of smooth this layer of filling. I have a cake turntable, but right now it's just easier to do it this way. Okay, so that's the cake and the filling. Now what we're gonna do, and you can do this several different ways. I bought a can of chocolate cake icing, cake frosting, depending on what part of the country you're from. Some people call it frosting, some people call it icing. So I bought a can of that, and you can either put it on here like you normally would a cake, or you can just put it on the top. You'll have a really thick layer on the top and leave the sides bare. Or you can do what I like to do. I actually like to heat it up and pour it over the top, and then it kind of drips down the sides, and it's just a beautiful presentation. So I'm gonna put that in the microwave, get it loosened up, get it melted a little bit, and then we're gonna finish this cake up. Yeah, that's good. Alrighty guys, so I melted this in the microwave, and we're just gonna slowly pour it over the top.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are.
If it's not running down the sides in a certain area, then just pour a little bit more on top. And that's what you want. You want it to just kind of run down the sides. Beautiful presentation. Just keep pouring it on the edges until it starts dripping down the sides. That's what you want. Beautiful cake. And you know how much icing you put on it, that's really up to you. It's your decision. You can put it so that it kind of pools around the edges. That's cool too. It's your cake. Do with it however you want. But there you have it. A wonderful, beautiful, delicious Oreo cake. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you can make this. If you do, drop me a comment and let me know that you've made it and what you thought of it. If you like the video, then subscribe to us. Click the bell button. That way you'll get future notifications when we do videos. And then like, share, and comment for us, and we would appreciate that. And be sure to share it for us. And we will see you next time. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.